What's up, beautiful people? Bemi back here again with another beautiful sit down chit chat video. I don't know where that came from, but it just came out like that. How are you guys doing today? Be me here. Welcome back to another sit down chit chat video. You guys know that when I sit down like this, I want to be open and honest with you guys and share from my experiences that I think you guys will learn a lot from. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here today, because I can see that the family is just growing every day. You guys, 11k subscribers. Thank you guys so much. So without much further ado, we're jumping right straight into today's video because we're not wasting time. We are not wasting time. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I feel like a lot of people can relate with, and it's about like we growing up and we thinking we were not good enough in, you know, the different things that we choose to do, like in academics, in education, in, you know, your career and all that. And I just wanted to share from my personal experience, and hopefully you guys can learn something. This video, what triggered it or what inspired it was a post that I saw on Diary of a Nigerian Girl, Diary of a Niger Girl. I believe that's it. I'll read like the brief story out to you guys, and then I will share my experiences and what I learned with you guys. So if you're very much interested in this video, which I still don't know what I'm going to title it, just keep watching. Okay, so the beginning of the post on Diary of a Niger Girl says the black sheep strikes again, and that was actually what caught my attention. I'm going to try to summarize this story as much as possible because I don't want this video to be too long. So basically it was just a girl saying she made a big mistake. She sent a WhatsApp message to her school counselor because they were trying to undermine her mom, and then they found out, because of course it was a WhatsApp number, and then they found out who he was, and they expelled her from the school. And the school counselor took it up. I was arrested and then expelled from the school. She sent threat messages to the counselor, and my mom was sacked. Her mom was sacked. Writing this message now, I really don't want to remember how I felt and still feel. You can imagine the names that people called her as the only daughter of her mother. There's nothing people didn't say to her, considering the fact that her mom had that job even before she was born. Suicide became an option. She was expelled. She changed schools in SS2, and the class was so difficult, and it was so hard to find another school that was going to take her. She finished secondary school, got her papers, got admission into a private university. Honestly, depression dealt with me. I can remember one day I sat in my wardrobe in school and cried. I had to grow up fast because I didn't want to see my mother cry again. I got my first job as a virtual assistant at the age of 17. I don't work with them anymore though. My self-esteem was at the lowest. I was still afraid to speak at family gatherings because everybody knew what happened. And I don't want to be reminded that my mom still didn't have a job. I was messed up. I was young and naive. I was young and naive. My dad still uses it against me, saying you're the cause of the problems in this family. I pretend like it doesn't bother me, but deep down it actually bothers me. I'm broken. I hide in my shell. I have phobia for crowd. People think I'm proud now, but really I'm just scared to speak. I get sad, definitely, because I allowed the issues to eat up my joy and happiness. I forgot to smile for 2 years. My convocation is in a couple of days, and I made a 2-2. That's a second class lower. It may not be a good grade to people, but I did the best that I could. Maybe my best wasn't enough. My two older brothers are first class graduates, but I came out with 2-2. I guess the black sheep strikes again. And it was a very touching story, you guys. It was very touching to me because I could relate on so many levels. Even though she is like the last born, I am the firstborn. So it was harder for me. It was harder for me. And I'm just going to quickly share my story a bit. Growing up, I was quite smart. Like when I was in primary school, I was smart. I was intelligent. I remember my dad used to say when I was in secondary school and they felt like I wasn't pulling my weight, they would say, oh, when you were in primary school you used to wake up in the middle of the night to study with lantern, but now you're in secondary school, you don't even do things like that. So in primary school I was very, very common entrance. I had a very high score. I think I had like 527 over 600 in common entrance. Very high score, so I was pretty smart. Then there were also mistakes that I made, things that I did that I can never forget till today, and I felt like it was kind of like I disappointed my parents. One I vividly remember was my mom's wedding Bible. If you get married in a church, if you're a Christian, your wedding Bible is like sacred to you. It's like sacred to you. And one day I will tell the full story. But basically, I took my mom's wedding Bible to a camp and I lost it. And I did not tell her I was taking it. I lost it and I came back. And she was like, where is my wedding Bible? And I told her that I lost it, and I got the beating of my life that day. That was when I was way younger. When I I think when I was maybe still around that age, or maybe when I was younger, we had gone on like an excursion in church or something, and we had gone on like a boat ride, and everybody had gone. When we came to shore, everybody left, and then I went back on the boat ride, and like I went alone by myself on the boat, and then they were looking for me, and I remember my mom was so worried, and this was even when I was way, way much little, and I just feel like some of these things were accumulating for my parents, especially for my mom. Then when I was in like primary school, I think I was in like primary 6, we were living in Ogun State, and my parents were not around. It was just me and my siblings, and I think my uncle, and there was no light. We were supposed to, whenever there's no light, you wait for daddy and mommy to come back so my daddy can turn on the gen. It wasn't just a regular gen, it was just, those generators then that were like plants. Like, they were so huge. They had these big drums, like those 2 blue drums. I don't even know what used to be in the drums, but then you either use a key to start it, or there was this wind, I don't know how to describe it, wind this thing that you do like this. Exactly, I don't know if you guys know that generator, but that was the gen we had, and I had never turned it on before. But that day, I think there was no light, and I was feeling like I've seen them turn it on 1,000,001 times. So I went to the generator house. We had a house for the generator because it was like a plant. And then I did not know if there was fuel inside. I did not know if there was oil or those things that are supposed to be in the drum. I think maybe water. I don't even know. I just turned on the key and it started, and I did the changeover, and we were using the generator, and there was light. And in my head, when I did these things, which I feel like the girl in the story, when she sent the threat to the counselor, she felt like I am doing something great for my mom, like my mom would be proud of me. So when I remember when I turned on that gen, I felt like my dad would have been so happy that I took initiative, that since they were not around, though, Gbemi did something. And before they came back, we just saw smoke everywhere, and then the generator died. And by the time my parents came, they were like, what happened? And I explained to them, and by the time they checked it, basically that generator spoiled that day. Like that was the end of that gen. Like, they couldn't fix it, they couldn't repair it. And I was in primary, so I think I was in primary 5, and that was the first time I probably saw a disappointed look in my dad. Like, he was just looking at me like, what is your problem? And I know I can't remember if they beat me. My dad did not really used to beat me, but my mom, I can't remember if she beat me or they said so many, harsh words to me. But I remember vividly that, I did that, and I spoiled that generator, and it was very expensive, and we had just had it for a few months, and I spoiled it, and that was that. Fast forward to when I got done with secondary school. I was waiting for my admission. I was waiting for admission. Yes, I had just finished WAEC. I had applied to Covenant University, all those schools, so I was waiting for them to just get back to me. Covenant eventually got back to me, but my parents said I was not going to. My mom said I wasn't going to Covenant. That's why I did not go to Covenant till today. But yeah, so I remember I was just at home, and you know what they say, that the idle man is the devil's workshop. Exactly. So I then told our driver at the time, my parents had traveled. They traveled to Israel. Yes, Jerusalem, Israel. Anyways, and then they said, we told them we're not going to anybody's house, and nobody should come and stay with us. I was old enough to take care of my siblings. My brother is just 2 years younger than me, and my sister was in primary school then, so it was 3 of us. But then the driver would come in the morning. I would prepare my brother and sister's things for school. We'll take them to school together, and then in the afternoon we'll go pick them up together. So I remember one day I told the driver that I wanted to learn how to drive. It was a thing, like when you finish secondary school, you learn how to drive. So I said I wanted to learn how to drive, and he was like, okay, no problem. When we take them to school, we'll stop around, learn for about an hour or two, come back home and stuff like that. So on this particular day, we started learning. I think we had learned day 1, day 2, day 3. I was pretty much, okay, like I was feeling okay with the steering. And again, I say, like, I felt like by the time I do this and my parents come back and I tell them that, oh my god, I can drive, they would be so proud of me. They would be so happy that I did this amazing thing, I took initiative and I learned this thing, and it'd be amazing. And then I think on the 3rd day of learning, it was a manual. I was using a manual. My mom's car was a manual car, and I don't know what happened. I was supposed to clutch and brake, but then I think I clutched and accelerated, and guys, I almost killed somebody. Thank God the person just moved away from the gate in like a split second, and I hit the gate of that house. The gate struck the fence, and like the windscreen shattered. You guys, the windscreen shattered. The airbags came out. The two airbags came out. I was in the driver's seat. I remember by the time I regained consciousness, I thought of the movies that, you know, when accidents like this happen, it's going to explode. So I was trying to remove my seatbelt. I was trying to come out of the car. I was looking at the driver. He wasn't so unconscious, but you know, both of us managed to come out of the car. Glass was shattered all over my hands and everything. And yeah, like that accident happened, and immediately it happened, I came out. Everybody was like, am I okay? Am I okay? I said yes, I'm fine. So immediately I took my phone, I called my mom. I was like, mommy, something just in fact, as I called her, my mom is a spirit woman. She walks and talks with the Holy Spirit, you guys. As I called her on the phone, she was like, what happened? She was like, who died? No, I think whether she said who was injured or who died or something like that. I was like, oh, nobody died. She was like, because she already saw it. And then I then explained to her that, you know, I got into a car accident. And you know, on the phone my mom was assuring me, she's like, it's fine, don't worry. She had seen it in a dream and she had prayed about it, and you know, everybody is fine. So low-key in my mind, like everything is going to be all right. And then they came back 2 days later, and you guys, it wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny, because by the time they came back, my dad took the mechanic to, oh, he had even called the mechanic to go and check the car. So by the time he came back, the mechanic told my dad that the car could not be repaired and they had to sell the car as scrap. A whole car, you guys, a whole car. And till I remember words my parents said to me. Like, they couldn't beat me. My mom has this philosophy that when a child becomes a teenager, you don't touch, you don't whoop them or anything. But they couldn't beat me. But the words they said to me, I was pretty much non-existent in that house. They wouldn't talk to me. Nobody would talk to me. My brother was pissed. My brother is younger than me, but his mom is he matured faster than me in reasoning. You know, he was so pissed at me. My sister could not understand what was going on. She was just like, Gbemi is in trouble, you know. My dad didn't even want me serving his food. Like, they would just leave my food in the pot. Nobody would talk to me. And I remember I would cry and tell God that, God, please just let me die. Like, I just want to go. I just want to die. Like, this is not a way to live. You know, like every day my dad would get back from work and give me this disappointed look. My mom would give me this disappointed look. They were giving me this silent treatment. You guys, there's nothing worse than your whole family giving you a silent treatment. And I didn't know what to do. I was confused. I was just like, God, like, just take all of this away. Just take everything away. Before then, a year before, my parents had enrolled me for IGCSE exam. I think that's the exam that you do so you can go school in the UK, so you can take Cambridge exam and stuff like that. And I failed woefully. And it was kind of like they would they would use every opportunity to remind me that that's how you failed IGCSE. You guys, it was a lot of money. My parents spent a lot of money for me on that exam, the books, the teachings, the coachings, the lessons, the everything, and I still failed. And so it was like I kept disappointing them in one way or the other. And at a time I had to tag myself the black sheep of the family, because it was like my sister was doing well, my brother was doing well, and it was like as if it was just only me that was having one issue or the other, you know. So I tagged myself without anybody even tagging me, and I felt like in the minds of my parents I was the black sheep of the family. And that's just like a brief summary of like my story from primary school to secondary school. And eventually I got into college, and I went to college, and some things still happened. I failed some classes and my parents got to know about it, and you know, it was huge. But you know, all I'm trying to say in essence, and why I've come here to share this my story and encourage and motivate others, is that you could be in this type of situation where you are tagged, or where you yourself have tagged yourself as the black sheep of the family, because it kind of just seems like there's nothing you can do without doing something wrong, like you're disappointing your parents every minute, every second, and you're like, is this life even worth it? You contemplate suicide. I remember when I bashed the car, I think on like a week after or so, my mom caught me, like, trying to tie like the bed sheet on the fan and everything, and she was, that was when everything ended for her, because she just hugged me. I was like, oh my god, the devil is not going to come into my life, it's not going to come into the life of my family. Like, what I was Gbemi trying to do? Do you understand? So I understand where this writer, or where the person that sent the story, is coming from, and I just want to send so much love and hugs and advice and embrace people out there like this writer, or the person that wrote this. I have been there, and I understand what it feels to be like as if all your siblings are doing things right. Your siblings are graduating with first class, and you're the only one that graduated with 2-2 or second class lower. Your siblings are getting straight A's, and you're the only one getting B's and C's or D's. I'm just trying to tell you that that's not where your worth is. That is not where your worth is. That is not what determines your whole life in the grand scheme of things. There's so many people that went to school, didn't get good grades, and they're doing fantastic these days. I look at myself as an example, and I'm like, I am doing YouTube. I love doing YouTube. Even though when I was younger, people would tell me, you talk too much, you talk too much. I wish somebody had encouraged me then to, yeah, keep talking, keep talking. Maybe I wouldn't have gone the path in career that I went. Maybe I wouldn't have had to do that IGCSE and fail woefully and waste my parents' money. So one thing I'm going to tell you to do, the first thing that you should do before any other thing, is forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself, because your healing starts from you forgiving yourself. If you don't forgive yourself, there's no way you can heal. You need to forgive yourself of all those atrocities you think you committed, or all those bad things that you think that you did that is eating you up and making you depressed. Forgive yourself. Show yourself love. I understand that it's not easy, especially with the kind of parents that we have. Parents in those generations are a different type of parents, and I know that they tried their best, but there are still so many flaws that they had. Despite what your parents would have said to you or said against you, just forgive yourself. Show yourself love, because you need to heal. Without healing, you will not be able to move to better places. Forgive yourself and heal and show yourself love. It is absolutely important, and that was one thing that I did in my case. And I just love where I am in my life. I love where I am in my space. I love the job that I do. I love being a content creator. I love being a mom. I love my husband so much. I have come to embrace my family, my immediate family, but I wouldn't have been able to do all that if I had not shown myself love and forgiven myself. I would also have to say to we that are becoming parents now, that we should do better than our parents were. We should absolutely do better. I feel like the girl's parents should have, yes, you could be mad, I understand, but then look at the intention why she was doing it. She was trying to fight for her mom. She was trying to fight for her mom, and it's now like the whole family, including extended family, is up against her. I would admonish we as parents, or we that want to have kids, let's do better. Let's see the intentions our children are having in the things that they're doing, rather than just scolding and calling them black sheep of the family and saying nasty and negative words towards them. It's not going to help in any way. We need to do better. And I feel like that was where my mom came through for me. Yes, my mom was always mad at me when I did those things. In fact, she would be even more mad than my dad. But she was always the first to come around. My mother believed in me so much. You guys, even with all the atrocities I committed, all the wrecking of things, all the bad things that I did, I totally scrapped their car. A whole car. They had to sell it as scrap and buy a new one. Do you not understand how expensive that is? The same thing with a generator plant. Do you understand how expensive that is? But my mom kept coming through for me. When I was having issues in school and I was failing, my mom, she was like, nah, no. Like, even when I had given up on myself, she's like, no, me, I did not give up on you, because you're going to excel, you're going to do better. If it is for us to change your school, we will change it, because I believe in you and I know that you can do it. And I love that so much about my mom, and I have learned that, and that's one part of parenting that I have learned from her, and I would instill on my kids. She believes in my siblings and I so much. Like, even when we don't believe in ourselves, she believes in us. So basically, we need to do better as parents. We need to do better as parents. And for you out there that you're experiencing things like this, feeling depressed, sad, because it just feels like life is not going your way, see, especially when you're young, it seems like that, but you don't even know what your future, like you don't know what your future holds for you. Places you will get to in life and you'll be like, nah, maybe this, as in, nah, me will get here. Is it me that is doing this thing? You know, like you look like me. Am I the one inventing this? Am I the one that people are embracing left, right, and center? You just have to forgive yourself, heal, move on. The things that you've been doing, do better. You know, do better things. The girl graduated with a second class lower. That's not the end of life. When you're talking about pass or third class, and they are in major places these days. You know, so this is just antics of the devil. Don't let it slip into your life. You know, just you'll be fine. You'll be fine, basically. So, you guys, I hope you guys have been able to learn one or two things from this, my experience, my story, and you know where I am now and how I've been able to forgive myself and heal, and that is why I've been able to move forward in life. I hope you guys learned so much, also about parenting, how we need to do better. I really hope and pray that you know the Spirit of the Lord dwells with you and you know takes away the spirit of mistakes, and you know everything will be fine. You know it's all going to end in praise, you guys. At the end of the day, it's all going to end in praise. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and sitting here to share bits and pieces about my life. I really hope you guys learned a thing or two. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, just leave it for me in the comment section below. Leave a comment. Have you ever experienced this in life? Did you ever feel like you were not good enough? Did you ever feel like you were like the black sheep? How did you overcome it? I would actually love to read about it and let other people read about it too. So thank you so much. Like this video, leave a thumbs up. Yeah, share this video with everyone, and I will definitely see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.